Here. So welcome everybody to Natasha's book launch for Reflectionless over here at the Local Book Hive. My name is Michelle, if you don't know me, some of you do. I'm co-founder of the South African Indie Authors Association and the Local Book Hive, and it's just an incredible privilege for us to be able to highlight the amazing authors that we have in South Africa, and Natasha is one of them. And she's actually like our right hand as well. So it's even more of a privilege to be able to do this for her. So Natasha's book's actually launched. Oh, it's available already. Can you rather put it that way?
Yes.
And it is, I haven't had a chance to read it yet, which I must apologize for, but I'm very excited for you to tell us more about it tonight. Just to give us a teaser of what Reflectionless is all about, because I know that you've got a lot of good experience in life with healing and dealing with difficult issues, and know that you're also an amazing author. So I'm excited to see what's her name, Sandra's story takes us, right?
Yes.
Natasha, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and your journey as an author so far?
Okay, so today is actually a great day to ask me that question, because today, exactly 1 year ago, I saved the first chapter of my first ever book in my whole life. Exactly a year ago. So it's very special for me today. And just seeing how far I've come in just a year since I think writing gave me a voice that I never had. A voice that I was taught to keep quiet. And even though I know I had valuable stuff to say, it was hard to speak up. And so it's very special for me today, because me as an author, I use writing to heal myself and hopefully to inspire someone else to be brave enough to heal as well, because healing requires bravery, a lot of it. And to be able to do it in a form that doesn't require me to be loud is awesome, because I'm not a loud person. I'm a very chill, zen person. So to be able to let it out and speak up, that's me as an author. That's what I do. My words are not soft and fluffy. They are direct, and they will leave you a little uncomfortable, but in the good way.
That's amazing. And Reflectionless is not your first book. So
no, it's actually not. If I may, this is my first book. So Wings Made of Scars is where it all started. And I didn't actually plan on becoming an author when I wrote that. It was supposed to be a one and done, but it didn't work out that way. So, my first book was actually nonfiction, and it's all about how to heal your trauma, and actually my journey on how I started to heal my trauma and become better. And like I said, in just this year since I started writing this book, I am amazed.
No, it's inspiring. It really is. And it just goes to show you that I think a lot of people have a dream of starting a book, and that's sort of it. But you can touch so many lives through your writing. And I think once the bug bites you,
it's addicting.
All right. So just to give you all a little bit of an overview, we are going to, obviously Natasha's going to tell us more about Reflectionless. A little bit later, we are going to open up the floor for questions. But if you have questions in the meantime, you're welcome to pop them in the comment box or do the little hand raising thing. There's a button at the bottom of your screen that raises your hand, and we can call on you. But there is also going to be a Q&A at the end. And that's the overall view of how tonight is going to go. But I actually want you to tell us a little bit more about Reflectionless itself. Like, what was the idea that sparked the story, and why did you decide to go fiction after you actually wrote nonfiction?
So that's a good question. So I wanted to present healing in a different form, because sometimes when faced head on with healing and having to do the work, it can be overwhelming. So having a different version that rather inspires healing than require it, for me, was another way to reach people and to, well, I think teach myself as well in a big sense. But it was a different angle, a different motivation. Yeah, that's why I wanted to do it specifically in fiction. Now, reflectionless, it's all in the name. It teaches you to reflect less on what's behind you, because we all have that little voice that blabs on and on and on and tells us that we're not good enough, and that, yeah, we all have that voice. And Reflectionless takes us on Sandra's journey of how to unlearn listening to that voice and realizing that that voice is not her own and she does not need to listen to it. She can listen to her own voice and she can trust herself to be more than what she was told she can be. So that's what Reflectionless is.
You actually stole my next question from me because I was curious as to why it's called Reflectionless, but it's actually a beautiful like picture of the journey. So are you able to give us a little bit of Sandra's story without giving the story away?
Yes, I can. So, Sandra is a typical corporate lady. She is an accountant, just like I was. And she has a schedule that makes her calendar looks like Christmas lights. So she gets up, she does the same thing every single day, gets reminded every night by, I think, the biggest surprise in my book, by the mirror. Her mirror calls her every single night and tells her and reminds her that she will never be anything more than just the help. And the reason why this was challenged was because the people around her started saying, but that's not how it's supposed to be. Why don't you stand up for yourself? Why don't you believe in yourself? Why don't you want to do more than just be the help? And so when faced with this, she actually got an opportunity and she made a big life move, moved from the city to the coast. And that's where her healing journey started, because now she was allowed to explore herself in a different light without the noise of the city that she was used to all the time. So she's on a healing journey to find herself.
I think that's so beautiful that you put it at the coast, because you ladies were talking just before we all started about how magical the ocean is with all the creatures that you encounter there, and yeah, just the joy that it actually brings you. And is that a nod back to your own journey as well?
Definitely. Yeah. We moved, well, not from city so much, but we moved back, well, to the coast. And yeah, it inspired a lot of my healing as well. So it's definitely very personal to me.
Yeah. And yeah, what was there any specific research that you did before you did the book, or lived experience, or other stories that you've read that sort of shaped the way that Reflectionless came about?
Well, the research came from Saya, to be very honest, because I asked a lot of questions and many times I made myself tired with the questions that I asked, because fiction was just not my thing. So for me, that was the research part. Most of the book is lived experience. My mirror was my worst enemy. So it is a very personal story to me. And that is also why my face is on the cover, because I needed to heal that part and I needed to see that it's not the mirror, it's just the voices. You can stop listening to them. So yeah, for me, it's more lived experience than, yeah, the research was how to actually make it a story.
That's beautiful. It really is. Angela, do you have a question?
Yes, I do. So, I have read your fantastic book, and I wanted to ask you a question about your MFC. Your MMC, sorry, MFC. See, the Brian is brining. Um, you know what I mean? Your male character. Was he based on anyone in particular?
Oh,
Was it, you know,
yes.
because he
So,
sounds really dishy.
yes, he is based on my lovely husband because he was the hero in my story. He inspires my healing every single day, and Will in the story does the same for Sandra, but in a less romantic way. I think that's very surprising. Everyone waits for something, but it's not about him. He just shows her that things can be different. So, yeah, he's definitely based on my husband.
I love that because it also brings a sense of truth to the book as well, in how it's healing you and moving you forward as well. And the fact that you went from nonfiction to fiction is a huge jump and a lot of guts. Let's face it. I mean, you know, it's like two different mindsets completely. You know what I'm saying?
It
So
is.
the fact that you did this, well done. You should be really proud of yourself for that because
I
it's
am.
very different.
Yeah, and I realized something today actually. Wings Made of Scars was a starting point for me because I had the words in my head for years. Like I had the whole book planned out, and that's why I wrote it in 2 weeks and it was done because I knew exactly what I wanted to say. But Reflectionless gave me my voice. Discovered a lot about myself through writing this book because I figured out that I don't like being fluffy. I'm not a fluffy person. I will tell you straight, and you will not talk to me for 3 days probably because I might accidentally make you face yourself. It's just what I do. And Reflectionless taught me that. It taught me that this is who I am. This is the people. I'm writing for people like me. I don't necessarily like fluff. I don't want to do the fluffy thing. I want it straight. Tell me the facts. The fluff doesn't help me. It's noise. Give me it straight. So Reflectionless actually gave me my author voice.
I love that because not everybody writes the same, and that's the beauty of writing. Okay. And I mean, I remember saying to you, you need a little fluff. You know what I mean? And you're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, nonfiction and fiction, they merge, but you need to just pad it out a little bit more, you know, for the story. And bravo for doing that because some people, as you say, don't like fluff, and
Yes.
that's okay. I mean, you know, for me, when I read it, I was like, I could see exactly this being so many people. So many people could be going through exactly what Sandra was going through, and it is an eye-opener to read it in a story which is honest and true. So, well done.
Thank you.
Definitely. And some of the comments in the chat is saying that Raj says firstly that she's very proud of you. But it makes her so happy when she hears about women being loved properly, and Sam agrees. And
Oh,
I think, you know, it's such an important message to bring across, especially in fiction circles nowadays, because there is a tendency to glorify toxic relationships. And being able to show something to the world that is honest, first of all, but also a picture of what marriage or a romantic relationship should be is an important message, I think, alongside obviously the other lessons that you're trying to portray in the story.
no, definitely.
So, is there something that you are specifically hoping for readers to take away from the story when they finish it? Like, what
Yes.
is the feeling that you want them left with when they close the last page?
Like I said, slightly uncomfortable because I want you to feel this is possible. But my main thing was I showed healing in a very realistic way. I showed healing the way that I experience it. You don't wake up one day and boom, you're a different person. It doesn't work that way. You wake up one day and you feel exactly the same as yesterday, but something that someone says triggers you less, or it bothers you a little bit less. The noise is a little bit softer, and you smile a little bit easier. It changes slowly. It's not big, grand gestures. It's not romanticized. It's real. So at the end of the book, you might wish Sandra was further along, and I do too, but I'm not further along, so I can't have her be, because it's not realistic. And because I write straight and non-fluff, I can't romanticize it because it's not fun. Some days you still wake up and you still feel like, oh, I can't do this. I don't want to do this anymore. But other days you get up and it's fun, or you smile a bit easier, or like I said, you just feel a little bit lighter, and that's the goal.
Yeah, I think that's a beautiful message to leave your readers with. And it must have been difficult to write such an emotional book, because I know
Yes.
from speaking with several, especially women's fiction authors, that dealing with these issues, even in a story format, is difficult. Were there any particular parts in the book that you felt most difficult to write, or that perhaps took you a bit longer just because of what it made you face again yourself?
Yes, the first part that was difficult for me was the last encounter with the mirror specifically. That for me, I had to take a 7-day break because it broke me a little bit too. Because I think for me, the breaking the mirror for me was breaking a specific relationship in my life. It was finishing with that specific part of my life and letting go of ties that I've grown up with. So for me, that's what I found, is that was a very difficult part to write. And then the healed version, because I'm still living it. So I can't really portray it 100% accurately and confidently because I'm still learning. I'm still feeling what it feels like. So that was harder for me to write than the traumatic and the hard part. The hard part was my everyday, it's second nature to me. So yeah, the healed version, but specifically the last version, the last conversation with the mirror was hard.
But that's, I mean, I can imagine, that dealing with healing and confronting your demons, as it were, is something that carries on for the rest of your life, because it will always try and sneak back in, right? And so it's
Yes.
actually a really realistic way of ending or concluding the story.
Mhm.
They're still dealing with those things, because you can do a lot of healing work, and you can take that, make the journey and everything, but it's a constant work, something
Oh,
you
definitely.
face every day.
Definitely. And new triggers show up every day. I mean, randomly someone will say a word or do a thing, or my children will do something, and I'm like, this doesn't feel nice. Where does this come from? So that's the realistic thing for me about it. I don't think you ever fully heal because new traumas come. I mean, people die, accidents happen, sickness, illnesses. I mean, mental hardships, financial hardships, all of these things has an effect. It leaves a mark. But the key, and that's where Wings Made of Scars came in, was the key is to process them as they happen, to stop pushing it there in the back, putting it in a box and just shoving it in the closet that's overflowing already, because it doesn't stop. So you can't think, I'll one day have time to go back to those things. If you don't go back to them now, you never will. There will just be more.
That's true. Angela wants to know if you think you'll continue Sandra's story.
Maybe one day. I think fiction is on a back burner for now. I just want to do non-fiction for a while. I need a moment.
Yeah, no, I get that. So, on a slightly lighter note, I want to know what your writing routine looks like.
Okay.
How do the kids know that mom is off limits right now? She's writing.
Mom
Or
writes
does that not happen?
No, what I found is because I write emotionally hard stuff, I write when the kids sleep.
Okay.
So I usually wake up early. When I was back in my corporate era, I taught myself to wake up at 5 a.m. because then I just start the day before the day starts, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just to get myself in a better headspace, and that's where the writing came in. Comes in now. So I write before everyone wakes up. By the time they wake up, I had a chapter done or I edited some. I write one chapter at a time. I can't do more than one. I just cannot. So sometimes it's 300 words, sometimes it's 1,200 words. It all depends on what happens in the chapter. But I write when the kids sleep. I cannot write when they're awake because if Claire, mom, yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm the same. I mean, I need to focus on one thing at a time. And I think
Yeah, no,
especially
definitely.
when you're writing the kind of things you are. So with Sandra's voice, and I kind of feel like I know the answer to this question already, but does her voice change as the story progresses and as you got to know her better?
That's a good question. Wait, give me a moment. um, her voice gets louder and softer at the same time. Louder because she listens more to herself, but softer because she doesn't echo the mirror. So, yeah, it becomes gentler. Let's name it that. It becomes gentler.
That's really cool. It's really cool. And what's next for you? I know you're working on something there in the background. What can we expect next if not Sandra?
Well, the next book is actually almost ready for beta readers, and it's something very different. And the title is Kinkanality. So, Kinkanality explores how kink roles flood into our everyday lives, how it affects your actual personality. Because for some people, it's not a thing they do now and then. For some people, it's part of your personality. And I don't think enough people grant themselves the space to explore that part of their personality. And I'm not talking about what happens in the bedroom or wherever you go. I'm talking about the physical aspects of how it affects you as a person, how it makes you feel, how you see things, how you see the world, how you experience people. And I want to showcase that. It's something that I've done a lot of research on. So, yeah, it's something very close to my heart, just like healing is. And in a way, I see it still as a healing book because I believe you should fully know yourself. And this is a part of some people. So that's actually the next book.
That's exciting. It sounds quite. Looking at the Reflectionist cover, I'm quite keen to see what Kinkanality's cover is going to look like.
Me too. I don't actually know this time. I'm going to be just as surprised as you all because I actually got a pro to do it this time.
That's cool. Azaria wants to know, what is one question you wish somebody would ask about Reflectionless, but no one has yet?
Why the mirror?
What would your answer be?
How many times a day do us ladies look in a mirror? Not necessarily a mirror. Think about it. You catch a glimpse in the microwave, and you catch a glimpse in the car mirror and the window, and wherever you go, mirrors face us more than we want to face them. And I think that's the one space we are the meanest to ourselves, is when we stand there and we see the extra bump and the mom bod and the hair that's turning grey and falling out and all of it. That's the place where we are the meanest to ourselves. And I speak under correction, but we are a lot of ladies here, and I don't think there's a lady that really loves their mirror. So it was for me a very obvious place to place that mean voice.
It's actually such a visceral analogy in story form, to put it that way. And the first thing I thought of when I saw the book cover for the first time and saw the mirror reflection was the story of Snow White with the magic mirror that tells her you're the prettiest lady in the land. And it's actually powerful when you start to face it that way, and
Yes.
come to grips with who you really are and accepting who you really are as valuable.
Exactly. Yes.
It's powerful. I don't know if anybody else would like to shoot a question towards Natasha. You're welcome to unmute yourself if you have something, or pop it in the chat box and I'll...
Got something. Was there anything that didn't make it into the book that you feel people should know about, maybe, or that you're happy you didn't include, or maybe you're like, I should have included something like that?
Well, between the second and the third draft, I decided to add a preface. Is that what we call it in fiction? Before the story. Because one of my beta readers said she doesn't understand where the voice came from. So what I did is I added glimpses into the past of her parents repeating the words that the mirror speaks to her. But when I did a final read-through, it confused me more than it added to the story. Because for me, if you do not understand where the voice comes from, I'm extremely happy for you. Because then this book is probably not for you. You won't relate to the character at all. And I'm happy about it. I'm sad if you relate to Sandra. I really, really am. I love that you can relate, but I really hate that you do, because it's sad. It hurts. So yeah, that's actually one part that I decided to just take out because it took away from the story.
And do you think that writing Reflectionless changed you on any level?
Oh, definitely, in so many levels. It gave me a space. I think I developed a lot with Sandra. I mean, a lot of the things that she did, I actually explored everything except the surfing. I did not try surfing. But I climbed onto the deepest possible rock that I could, and I saw the ocean around me. And in one space specifically in the book, I say, this body of water is my soulmate. It can both heal and hurt depending on how you approach it. And for me, every single time that I get deep onto those rocks and it's water all around me, those words echo in my mind, because that's exactly what I feel about the ocean.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's an extremely beautiful quote. And to be honest, listening to that, I'm wondering, I don't know if I'm jumping the gun, but I'm wondering if you would be willing to read us one of your favorite parts, even if it's just a paragraph or a scene or something like that from the book.
Please do. Please do.
Okay,
Sorry
so
to put you on the spot.
I prepared a little bit because I wasn't sure exactly what to expect. So I prepared a little bit. I don't know how much I can read. It's not a long piece, but it's the first real section of chapter 1, because I think it shows the whole story in one piece. But I want to make a special note that I didn't really tell a lot of people. But this first scene appears accidentally in the book 3 times. It's in the beginning, it ended up in the middle, and it ends the story on the same note. So, here we go. It's early morning, the time of day when my mind feels free. I can almost feel the breeze, cool and gentle on my skin. I see myself sitting on the beach, elbows resting on my knees. The air smells salty and fresh, not as toxic as I'm used to in the city. Every wave brings with it a promise that there can be more to life than schedules, meetings, and lonely apartments, and that the push and pull of circumstances doesn't have to directly impact my mood. As I sit and toy with my mind, a tear slips from my eye. When I lift my hand gently to wipe it away, I allow myself to ask it why it chose this moment to escape. And then it hits me. I am tired. Not the kind of tired that sleep can fix, but the kind that makes breathing agonizing. A tiredness that has both mind and body begging for a break. The daydream slips away, reality taking its place. I wake up at 5, run, coffee, shower, work. Every hour of my day is carefully planned. Every minute is meticulously accounted for. My reminders app is overflowing. If I stop managing everything, it might all fall apart. Or maybe I will. It's a system, a routine, a cage. Oh, and then of course there's the mirror. Whether it's in my bathroom, in my car, or even the tiny one in my purse, it always finds me. Every night at exactly 8, not a minute before, not a minute after. It calls me, that screechy whisper that gives me the chill. It doesn't say anything I haven't heard before. Oh, Sandra, don't you remember? You will never succeed in life. You don't have what it takes. I pull myself off the couch and walk towards it, already feeling the weight settle in. I didn't forget. I know I was made to be used by the people who succeed in life. But being helpful is very exhausting. I need a break to find myself. Oh, you silly little child. What can you find if you are nothing? You are not special and have nothing of worth to offer the world. Stop wasting your time on wishes of freedom. You don't deserve it. Yes, Mirror, I understand. I will try harder. As I turn to leave, the whisper follows me. That's more like it. I wonder, as I do almost daily, if there is another way to live. Am I wrong to want to believe there has to be more than life, more than a mundane existence where my sole goal is to be the help? A tear slips free. I don't know if there is, but I do know that this way of living is drowning me on dry land. I fall asleep, dreaming of waves and breezes, wishing they would take me with them.
Sure. That is powerful. So much emotion poured into that. And I think there are so many people that can relate to the way that Sandra feels. That we're getting lost in our own lives and forgetting to live it.
Yes.
Beautiful.
So you mentioned that scene section comes up in the book 3 times.
Yes.
Is there a reason for it? Or like, is it specific points that you want reflected on?
What happened actually is the first time it appears, it's here in a daydream. The second time is her first actual time sitting on the actual beach after her move. And the final one is where the story ends, where it's the same feeling, but it's a little lighter. It's a little bit less. And I actually didn't plan on it happening at all. It just happened. And then when I rewrote it the first time, I was like, hey, but I think I did this already. And then I was like, but it kind of works. And then I let it go. And then it was just the right way to end it because that's where it all started.
Of that full circle type vibe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sam says it's not her sitting there crying at those words. They hit hard when she read them, and they hit hard hearing them spoken now. And
They do.
And Liesel wants to know what inspired the healing process of writing in the sand.
Oh. So I just did it one day. I was walking on the beach and I was actually writing a birthday message for someone. I think it was my dad or someone. And it was fascinating to me how the waves washed away the words. It was just one of those things that fascinated me. And I thought, but hey, this can be quite a creative way to heal, to put the word there and let it happen. And the specific words that I chose is not normal words anyone would just write in the sand, but it worked for the story because that was her specific challenge at that moment. So that's where the words and that process came from.
Oh, and I know we've got some early readers that you've on the call, but was there any responses from any of your early readers that really stood out to you? Or that really like validated you putting the story out into the world?
Each and every single one. Every single person that let me know, I feel Sandra's story. I'm mad at the mirror. I'm mad at the voice. Every single one of those feels like a soul sister because I feel you. I know it's drowning. It's bad. And every time someone says something like that, I just want to burst out in tears because I'm so sorry that you had to feel that you have to know what I'm talking about here. But it validated me in so many ways because not that I need the validation, but it's nice to hear that after making the scary jump to fiction, it actually works. People do enjoy the story. That means a lot to me.
Yeah.
And isn't it amazing to think that without your story, those people who reached out, who said that they relate to Sandra, even though it is sad, but isn't it amazing to think that without your book, without Reflectionless, that person probably would have thought they were alone. And that other people won't understand or wouldn't understand, and that you have given those women the sisterhood that you're talking about. So well done.
That is awesome. Thank you.
So if I had to give this book to a friend of mine who's going through a hard time, what would you like them to know before they read your story?
This is gonna hurt, but it's gonna be worth it. Take a breath, take your moments. Do not try to read it in one sitting. You can, but I don't recommend it because just for a moment, sit with it. And I think that was most of the feedback that I got was like, I need to sit with this for a moment. And that's what I want. I wanted to haunt you because you need to look at yourself in the mirror and think, what mean words do you have for me today? Or how can I replace this mean words? So yeah, I would tell them to please prepare themselves.
I think that's really good advice by the sound of it. I want to go on to something a little bit lighter.
Okay.
When you're writing, do you do tea or coffee?
It all depends on the day and the scene that I'm writing. I do enjoy my iced coffee a lot, but I also enjoy peppermint tea. Quite, yeah, I love my peppermint tea with my essential oils. It's just that, I don't know, it just wakes me up. It clears my mind. So yeah, that's my drinks of choice. Yeah, you know.
Okay, and what are you reading at the moment?
I am busy with an ARC read that's called Rush by one of our Sire authors, Jessica Wright, I think.
Yes.
And then I'm still busy with Held by Angela Candler because I need a moment to sit with that one as well. And I'm also on the sidelines taking my time with Supergirl, raising a Supergirl with Shanae Tuck because I am raising two of them, and I need the guidance to raise them properly.
Yeah, don't we all? I think it's just such a beautiful picture for me to see. I know that not everybody here are Sire members, but that we have so many powerful women who are here this evening that are working so tirelessly in bringing hope to the world. And I think that's really the crux of what Sandra's story also does, is to bring hope even in the smallest of ways. And it's really an incredible honor to be surrounded by so many of you tonight, and also by the readers that appreciate and support those stories. I think, it's, as an author, there is nothing quite like being able to see someone else appreciate your words, even if your expectation was never for it to reach many people at all. So
That's true.
yeah. Yes, I want to give you the last opportunities, ladies, if you want to shoot any more questions this way. Angela?
I have a question. So, if one of your children came to you and said, Mom, I want to be an author, what would you say?
Go for it. Use the words, use the paper, get it out. Even if you don't publish, get it out. Just get it out. And I think it's probably the words that I say the most in my house, except yes to Mom. But
I think that's everyone.
The things that I say the most. Just get it out. Speak now. Let it out. This is a safe space. Just spit it out, because then we can discuss it. Then we can look at it. Just get it out. So yeah, I definitely inspire them, and they are both busy with story ideas.
That's amazing.
So my son is busy with the also non-fiction type of thing. He's writing from a teen boy point of view, things that he would like other teen boys to know. So that's quite cool. And
that's
then
very needed.
Marley, which is middle child and strong woman, strong-willed. She's busy writing short stories.
That's amazing. And look where they get it from.
Yeah.
I'm actually wondering, because you have written the nonfiction, you've written a women's fiction now, and you've got King Criminality coming out as well. Is there maybe another genre, maybe something unexpected that you would want to try and write in the future?
That answer changed quite a lot since we had our Saturday workshop with inclusivity. I've been thinking about it nonstop. I don't know. I think I do want to write me and my husband's story, because I think it's worth telling. We know each other only almost 20 years, which is a lifetime, and the stuff that we went through is stuff that most people in 50 years don't go through. So I know that there's a lot of value in what we went through. So that might be more of a memoir type of fiction. Maybe non-fiction, I don't even know yet. But for now, I'm going to stick to my non-fictions.
That's good. Angela, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I did. So, if you had a piece of advice to give to anybody that thinks, oh, I've got a story, I've written it now, what do I do? What shouldn't I do? What is your best piece of advice? One piece of advice, what is going to help them?
Join Sire.
Oh, apart from Sire. It wasn't leading to that. It wasn't leading to Sire at all.
I know. But why I say that specifically, and it's so valuable, because you can ask any question, no matter how simple or how complex. There's so many brilliant minds giving input that it really gives you direction. Because, just in this week, I had a talk with one of our authors that was stuck because she launched, but she didn't do the whole thing about ARC readers and stuff like that. She didn't know that's how it's supposed to go. There's no place that gives the value in the info that Saya does. I wouldn't try to publish a book without Saya, really. That's my number one advice, is join Saya, because you can ask anything. You can be yourself and not be judged. The community is just, yeah, I can't compare it to anything because I haven't found anything like it. But yeah, and then your voice, find your voice. And don't waver from that, because if you do, you won't like your story. And that's what I almost did with Reflectionless. And that's why I say that it gave me my voice. Because I almost changed it, and I'm so glad that I didn't, because it just works the way it is.
Thank you. I appreciate everything you said. You know, didn't expect you to say sire. It wasn't meant to be about that. But I'm glad that it's actually doing what we wanted it to do.
No, definitely, definitely.
So what if a youngster came up to you and said, how can I be an indie author or a trad author?
Just write the book first. You know, I really think that many people start and don't finish because they're like, just, I don't want to do this. There's so much involved. Write because you love it. You know, publishing is a bonus. If you decide to go that route, it's a bonus. Just write because you love it. Don't worry about it now, because if you worry about it before you start, you're not going to finish. It's just too overwhelming.
Exactly that. And I think that's what people need to understand, is that just get the words out, write the story, because look at you now, you're a year in and you're on your third book.
That's exciting.
You know, and I'm sure you've got many more in the pipeline that are sitting in a whip somewhere. And actually, on that point, how many whips do you have in the process?
Actually, just 2, but I have 2 ideas lingering.
Okay. We never have less than 2, never.
Yeah, but it's like I said, it's a superpower. It just keeps you busy while you wait for release date. It really does. It keeps you sane.
My brain literally jumped to kinkanality when she said whips, and I'm like, Natasha, you have whips at home. Sorry, that's my brain.
That's awesome.
So when you think about your character names, how do you go about finding the right name?
That was actually very challenging. So I found a challenge online. I can't even remember. I Googled and I was just like, how do I name my characters? Because I don't know how to do this. I don't even know where to start. And the challenge was to meet your main character. So you had a 10-minute writing block, and where do you see? First, you pictured the world. And for me, it was Sandra sitting on the beach. Then this character, how does he or she look? And the next thing was they introduce themselves. What do they say? And that's actually, she said, hi, I'm Sandra. And I actually saved that document because it was so special. It was such a special exercise. And she was just like, I need this to change. I cannot do this anymore. I don't want to live this way. It's just not worth living. And that's how I got Sandra. Will was quite easy because it's just a shorter version of my husband's name. So that was easy. It just fit the picture. He has the perfect name for the character. So why would I struggle with that? And the rest kind of just came to me. I thought about the picture in my head and I was like, you look like a Fred. And you look like a Jenny. So it just popped up.
Do your characters talk to you at night or when you're walking, or if you're busy doing a whip or something? Do they jump out at you at all? Like, you think, oh my God, that looks like my character.
Yeah, that happens quite often. But one specific character, when I see people that annoy me, I think of Jill. I just think of Jill. And I don't even know a Jill, just to be clear. So I have nothing against Jills. She was a Jill and she was nasty.
Oh, that's brilliant. And on that note, were there any of your characters that didn't follow the plot line, that didn't listen to your plans?
Well,
Typical
which
husband,
is
right?
right. It was just, yeah, it was supposed to go very differently, like very, yeah. I don't know. I don't know how we ended up where we ended up. For me, it was just as a surprise as it was for the readers. I just, every time I write something like, oh, okay, so we're going this way. Shop, what's next?
I love it when that happens. Is there anybody else that wants to know something else? I suppose not.
Everyone's shy.
Yes, yes.
Always the normal chatterboxes that talk. We ask the questions.
I'm just scared I
Please, Mike.
freeze. I'm going to be so for real. I'm so scared I freeze.
Let me get
I don't
this
want to
screenshot
freeze.
first.
I'm sorry. No,
Question.
no, it's fine. But all I want to say is, Natasha, I've gotten a clip of kinkonology and I'm just excited for the world to experience that because I got to find out a piece of myself that I didn't know. And definitely her writing comes through as, jy gaan sit. Here's the tissue. I'm not going to be your tissue. You need to go and sit and do the healing yourself. And I love that. I love your voice and all of that. So I'm very excited to read the rest of your books too. So thank you. Thank you for taking the plunge to just write. Okay, I don't want to freeze. I'm so scared.
No, you've got to freeze. I need to take screenshots of it. Raj has got a question.
Hi everyone. It's not so much a question as it is a comment. Natasha, I want to thank you for choosing to make the brave decision to write, because speaking as one of the people that's been sort of seeing a little bit of the steps behind the scenes, I am not just proud of the woman that you are, but I'm proud of the ways in which you are sharing your story and empowering other women through the lessons that you have learned in life. And well, actually, now that I think of it, I do have a question. How does it feel? How does it feel to be officially published and launched as an author?
Quite amazing, to be honest. It's one of those feelings where you walk through the stores and I'm like I'm a mom. No, I'm a published author. So it's like my pick-me-up line.
Damn right you are. You've earned the right. You've earned the right to celebrate yourself, even though you never needed to earn it. You always deserve to. But I want you to know, like, we see you, Natasha. We see you.
Thank you. I appreciate all of you so much. Every single person on this call has just been a part of my story, and I really appreciate all of you.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you as well. I absolutely agree with Raj. You didn't need the validation because you are valuable. And yes, it grates my nerves when people are like, I'm just a mom. Woman,
Right?
that is the hardest job you can get.
For keeping people alive. Oh, I didn't realize that it was just a little something.
We are very proud of you for being a published author as well. And
Thank you.
yeah. Right, everybody, I have added Natasha's link to her books in the comment section. But you all know how to get a hold of us. And if you want more, Natasha, do you have a newsletter?
I'm still working on that.
Didn't you have a little surprise that you wanted to do, Natasha?
Yes, I almost forgot. So I am working on a very special concept. I want to put Reflectionless and Wings Made of Scars into one hard copy, because what Sandra needed was Wings Made of Scars. I don't realize that as I was writing the book, and that was quite funny because I wrote Wings Made first. But so it's going to be kind of like the dictionary, the bilingual dictionary. The one side, if it's up straight, it's going to be Wings Made of Scars, and when you flip it, it's going to be a reflection list on there. And I am going to print and bind them myself, so they are going to be extra super special.
It's very exciting. Do you have a timeline for more or less when that would be available?
No.
It's quite a project. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I think my first step will just be to get some prints out for reflection list itself. That's my first next goal.
Great.
And would we be able to find that at the local book hive as well? When it's
Always.
printed.
Always.
So Natasha actually has both Wings Made of Scars and Reflection List available at the Book Hive, but she also has a journal available that she also produced herself, which I think is a great. Yes. Ah, there we go.
Fluttering within. The camera is not working with me. Let's try this. There we go.
Yes, I think that's a really cool companion to go with both of the books, actually.
Yes, definitely.
All right, ladies, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was such a privilege to have you here, Natasha, and thank you for sharing so openly with us and honestly with us. It's great to get an inside peek into the mind behind the story. And I think those of us that haven't read it, I'm very scared to maybe admit I might be the only one on this call. Oh, okay. It's going on a TBR urgently. So thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Yes, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
It was such a pleasure. And I hope that you all enjoy the rest of your long weekend. Hopefully,
Yes.
well.
Thank you for sharing, Natasha, and we hope you have many, many sales.
Thank you.
And
I
it gets
appreciate
into the
that.
right hands
Yes.
who need it.
Yes. That's all I want.
All right.
Thank you for being you and for being part of us.
Only a pleasure.
Good night.
Love you.
Thank you all for joining.
Thank you,
Have a fabulous
everyone.
long weekend.
Yes.
Okay.